extremely single and virgin. I don't think a lot. I think if you're talking about Hollywood, the fact that I am Asian American makes me distinguished rather from other actors. But there are Asian American actors, and there's a great community of that here and a great support group that I'm a part of. The fact that I probably went to a Christian university and I graduated with a degree in economics and finance is a little bit, not a lot of actors do that. So I don't have a lot of background in acting, which kind of does make me feel insignificant sometimes, mainly because I don't feel like I'm qualified to do it, but I do it anyway. So it is better lately for Asian Americans in Hollywood, but better doesn't really mean it's where I would quite like it to be. They're more inclusive in diversity and casts and stuff like that, but I don't really see it as very different from what it was before. We still wouldn't be the lead roles, right? We'd still be sidekicks, like just background characters, the best friend, never the main role, which there are more of those roles now available for Asian Americans, but it's almost kind of the same. I'm glad we made strides, amazing. I do it anyway. Actors are constantly fighting for it, and they've laid down a path for me, and just like they keep fighting for Asian Americans in the industry. And I think there's still more to be done before we're fully there, but it's a good start. Wong Fu, if you guys know Wong Fu Productions, I've looked up to them most of my life, when I was in high school. One day I would love to be an actor, a lead in one of their films, and that happened over 3 months ago. And so they are, in my opinion, one of the forefronts of people who are born within the industry that, want to provide a safe space for Asian American actors as a stepping stone to the acting world. One of the reasons I wanted to become more prominent in the, TikTok and on Instagram and social media in general is because casting directors nowadays, they don't really look at talent. Certain casting directors, especially for commercials, they don't really look at talent. They look at your follower count. And I was like, well, I'm at a huge disadvantage here, so I'm going to try, doing it. And so I did, and it's fantastic. And it's actually really fun because most of the time as an actor, you don't really work as an actor. The job is to look for jobs, right? But if you are creating your own stuff, if you're making your own things, you could say creative. And I don't really get paid for it, but it's still fun. And it reminds me why I am an actor and why I love it. I don't really get into my characters as much as I feel like I should. I don't think about their backstory or anything like that. I get into moments. That my character would be feeling, and then I would just feel that moment. When you're in a scene, it's easy to act if you forget that the cameras are there, I would say. So I just forget about the cameras. I focus on my scene partner, focus about how my character would feel in this situation. So you got to be so familiar with those lines that it almost feels like it's a part of you, and then just say it with being authentic and genuine. Usually people don't say anything about my performance. I think the harshest critic is definitely myself. I'm sure a lot of people could relate to that, but other people don't see the things that you see, and you always see the worst in yourself, which is kind of unfortunate. So I've been trying to work on that. But the worst comments I get, not from my performances in acting or stand-up comedy, but they're from my TikToks, they're from my Instagram, and most importantly, I'm a host for Pro Guides, which is a video game YouTube channel. Those comments are so harsh, man. Like they make me feel bad. If I'm having a good day and I want to feel bad about myself, I read those comments. YouTube comments are the worst. Yeah, it sucks. As a comedian, I'm supposed to have thick skin, right? But when people aren't laughing, when people are booing me off stage, which hasn't happened yet, thank God, it's about my performance. It's kind of like something that I'm doing on stage that like they're not a fan of, and that's part of the job, right? If I'm being myself and people hate me for that kind of sucks, like that's something I'm not a huge fan of. So it does affect me. I'm insecure about a lot of things, and those comments really kind of touch on those insecurities. I would say the fact that I haven't had proper training like most actors. There's almost an imposter syndrome that I have where I'm doing a role and I just feel like I don't belong here because other people have been training for this for like their life, and I don't know why I'm chosen for this role. I also model a lot, and so modeling, you just become so insecure because you notice every single fault in your face and your body and everything, and when you see the pictures that are released, they edit it, right? So it looks like you, but then it's also not you. And you're like, oh, this is their ideal version of me, and that's not who I am. And that makes me extremely insecure. You know what? I have no regret in my life. I would say when people ask me about my career goals, a lot of times I would just think outwardly, like 10 years from now I want to be blank or in this situation. But actually, I've been trying to change my mentality to be like, 10 years from now, I want to be happy with everything that I've accomplished in those 10 years instead of just like where I'm at now. I want to be happy about the journey and have no regrets there. And I think I'm doing a pretty good job at not regretting my decisions. Well, I wouldn't say I'm famous, but I thank you for that. The numbers are something that I was aware of, but I didn't really expect it to take as huge of a toll on me. You start looking at the numbers and you start associating them with your worth. I've been afraid of posting things to my Instagram recently because my videos are doing well, which is a weird thing to say, but like maybe this video is not going to do so well and I'm going to feel worse about myself. I've gotten 2.5 million views on my most recent video, but I'm like, how am I going to top that? How do I'm creating a version of myself, an expectation of myself that I cannot reach, and it's very detrimental to my mental health. When things like this happen, I just have to think about why am I doing this to begin with. It's because it's fun. It's not for the numbers. It's not for affirmation from other people, but just to make at least one person laugh. If I can make one person laugh, then I made someone's day, and that's all I care about. Obviously, if I can make 2.5 million people laugh, that'd be better, but that's not my goal. I still want to be humble, whether I am doing worse than I am today, because I know that's a possibility. It's not just an upwards growth, which I think a lot of people have this misconception of. No matter if I'm down here or up here, I want to be humble. I want to have humility, and I want to be able to not forget why I'm doing what I'm doing, and it's to spread entertainment and joy, and make your day a little bit less shitty, because the world kind of sucks. Don't forget why you're an actor. It's not for fame. It's not for success, because you're not going to get that. You're not guaranteed that. Just stick with it. Find a great support group of friends, family, people that are happy for you when you succeed, people that will invest in you the same way that you invest in them. And don't hang around people that will waste your time, that are fake, that are not happy when you do succeed. The people are what makes it great.